Down, you know it's going to be on his back as well. Jay Will, let's stay with the Knicks. Karl Anthony Towns, total points plus rebounds, 32.5. Which way do we go?
I'm going to go more, but there's a caveat. Are they empty calorie stats or are they meaningful stats?
Doesn't matter in this context. Doesn't matter.
Okay. It matters who wins. You win the bet, but I'm saying who wins the game. That's more important.
That's Jay Will not speaking gambling. You know,
I said more.
The guy who makes the bet don't give a damn if they're empty calories. Sinead, Celtics, Jalen Brown, more or less 26.5 total points.
I'm going to go more because I believe the Knicks want him to score. They got a taste of him as a facilitator, and it ends up being the wrong side of the pie. He had 12 assists, a career high. Now you want him to score and you want to be able to hold down everyone else. So I'm going to say more. That's the Knicks strategy.
All right, we're going to make our picks in a minute, but there's a lot of the audience that tunes in around this time getting ready for First Take and all that sort of thing. And I think we had a really interesting conversation earlier about how the Knicks may have been fooled in Game 5, and that was a huge factor in it. Jalen Brown, we all went into it thinking, I remember you saying on the show, Jalen Brown's got to be the $300 million man. He's got to score, whatever it is. And they used him in a different way, and that adjustment really worked. They used him as a facilitator. I'd be fascinated to see what the reverse adjustment that gets made is tonight.
Keep in mind, that was the 9th time the Knicks have played the Celtics this year. In the previous 8, Jason Tatum was the guy at the centerpiece who ran a lot of ISO. There was a lot more ball and body movement that the Celtics ran in this game. Now, it looked good because the threes went down, and at the end of the day, the Celtics are going to live and die by that. But the Knicks will have a much better idea of how the Celtics plan to operate coming into Game 6. I would even argue that the Knicks were at a genuine disadvantage going into that game despite Jason Tatum being hurt.
As crazy as it sounds, you lose Tatum because all of a sudden you don't know what beast it is you're fighting against in this case. Now they have a little better idea. So what's the adjustment? What do we see tonight? Do we see the same from Jalen Brown? Do we see a more aggressive, attacking, looking to score Jalen Brown? What do you expect?
I mean, I think Jalen Brown has to make the right reads. I think that's what it always comes down to. And making the right read means taking what the game makes available for you. So picking your spots. But obviously, you need to get your other teammates involved because he's going to be that facilitator. Also, if you're the Knicks, no more of these hard hedges showing over the top. You switch that. Try to bait Jalen into beating you by himself.
Yeah.
Like that's how because if you can do that, then that limits the other exposure you get from the other ancillary players.
He also turns the ball over sometimes. Not all the time, but he tends to turn it over under pressure.
Look, the one storyline that hasn't changed, really going back to the beginning, is the Celtics live and die by the 3. Is it as simple as saying if they're going in tonight, the Celtics are going to win, and if they're not going in tonight, the Knicks are going to win?
I don't think it's as simple as that because you had the Jason Tatum. We saw what he was capable of knocking down threes and how that shifted the paradigm for them offensively. The reason why the Celtics were able to be successful is because, like you said, the different strategy. I saw so few dribbles. I saw a lot of the ball movement. Like, that was beautiful basketball, the way the Celtics were designed because they knew they could not trust or lean on their star player since he is injured. Now for the Knicks, look, at the end of the day, I think they just have to keep the game close and hope that they can carry it home. But I know there's a lot of vulnerabilities, insecurities around whether Karl Anthony Towns can have empty calories or a big game. Like, it will take all of them. Yes. I remember watching a couple of games, and I'm like, we have not heard the name OG Anunoby. Like, he has to be an impact factor. Mikal Bridges was great during stretches when Jalen Brunson was on the bench in this series because he was able to get to the rim and keep them relevant. It's not just one guy. It will take, just like we're seeing with the Boston Celtics, it's going to take all of the Knicks, not just Brunson.
Well, that's the beauty of sports, right? The unexpected hero. Who was it before this series began that said Luke Cornett could wind up being the difference in all of it? But that's the beauty of this stuff, right? So let's put the picks up on the screen. And I will say, Jay, I'll give it to you here, but I will say for the record, Sinead had picked the Knicks.
You forced her to pick Boston.
I would like the record to reflect that I'm doing this for New York.
Correct. Okay. And that you're doing it for me. Okay. I said, I cannot live with all the screenshots that are going to come out of our screen that have everybody picking the Knicks if the Celtics win this game.
I'll tell you how the Knicks can win. Everybody keeps talking about Game 6. This ain't no Game 6. This is Game 7.
Tell me.
Because it's Game 7 for Boston. If Boston loses, they go home.
Right.
So you have to match the energy. So it's not like, hey, we have another game if we lose this one. Oh, hell no. This is it. This is finite. And if they treat the game with that sense of urgency, I know it's semantics, Shanae.
No, it's not.
If you treat the game with that sense of urgency, that's the mindset that will match the intensity of Boston.
You know why it's not semantics? Because we just witnessed that happen yesterday for the Denver Nuggets. That was game 7 for them. They got stellar performances from their supporting cast. You know, Julian Strawther, Christian Brown, like, they understand the assignment. And I think the Knicks have to understand that too. You're going to get everything that the Celtics have.
This is the first game this entire series the Knicks have been favored. They have been outscored in the postseason in all their games they played by like over 20 points. In a way, it's a remarkable thing that they're even in this spot. And they're also extremely mentally tough. So I would just say to the Knicks fans, take it easy and trust your team.
There's no take it easy. Take it easy. Do you know what day it is? 1973 is the last time this team won a championship. Don't tell me on a Friday in 2025 to take it easy. For the love of Christmas. The football guys want to get in on the picks as well. Dan Graziano and Peter Schrager, what do you guys see happening? Everyone in the world is watching this. What do you guys see happening tonight?
All right, NFL, I don't have a team. NBA, I'm a Knicks fan. I am a nervous wreck right now. Wendy, you seem way too calm about it. You don't get it. This is Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale. I hate that logo. This is that team, and yet I'm nervous sick. I've got the Knicks winning, but it's just because I can't say the Celtics.
I'm just a bandwagon. I'm into the Knicks. I think this is cool and a lot of fun to follow along. Wendy's point is a great one. Knicks haven't played a good game yet. They've been down by at least 15 points in every single game of this series. What if tonight's the night they play great?
Greeny, Deuce McBride, fourth quarter, big 3, Knicks win. Let's go!
I don't know what's going on there.
Deuce is your guy?
Oh, I'm showing a little life. Let's go!
Stay over there. Stay over there.
Who said that was a good idea? Okay. All right, so we are ready. Game 6 necessary in this Celtic-Knicks series. We've got it coming your way tonight. 8 Eastern on ESPN. Countdown. We got so much happening in the NBA right now. What do you have your fingers and your eyes on?
Boy, Game 7. Wow, we got a big Game 7 on Sunday. Now look, you got to understand in this situation, Denver has played 7 games in 13 days. Getting the extra day off today and tomorrow is huge for them. It gives them rest. But one of the big reasons that this game went the way that it did was because they got support from their bench. Their bench has been getting crushed by the Thunder in this series. Julian Strawther getting those 15 points. He only had 17 points in the entire playoffs before yesterday. Can they get some bench play on Sunday? All right, everybody's going to wonder what's going to happen with Giannis. And obviously the lottery was a big thing, but it took about 12 hours for the Mavericks to decide Cooper Flagg was going to be the pick. So the focus now in the Giannis situation is the number 2 pick, which was gotten by the San Antonio Spurs. Do the Spurs look to make a package offer for Giannis, or do they look to move it to another player or another team in this draft? There's a lot of interest in the number 2 pick in this draft. This will be where the draft is really decided, and Giannis will have a play in that as well.
And then the Warriors.
So Warriors offseason began yesterday, and not what they were looking for. There's a lot of focus on what they can do because you know that they are all